Today I'm going over 5 tricks to help stop motion sickness in VR. Check it out. What's up guys, I'm Tyler, and for more Oculus gaming tips and tricks, be sure to subscribe and like the channel. So chances are if you clicked on this video that you are experiencing some sort of motion sickness or nausea while playing VR. The good news is you aren't alone. This happened to me, this happens to many other players when they first start playing. And the good news is you actually eventually develop what's called VR legs. Basically, the more you play, the more you get used to it. Kind of like when you're in the ocean and you're trying to get used to it. Kind of like in Harry Potter when they teleported and they're not used to it, they throw up. So you just got to keep playing basically. But again, I'm going to give you guys 5 awesome tips and tricks to kind of get past that and be comfortable while playing VR. Now, my first tip I already kind of gave away, but it's pretty simple actually, is one, to keep playing, but also take breaks, which is kind of a contradiction in itself, but let me explain. Basically, you want to keep playing, you want to push yourself a little bit to play VR to get used to it, but you also don't want to get sick. Don't force yourself to play for multiple hours. Once you start feeling sick and once you've played a little bit, as soon as you start feeling a little nauseous, take the headset off, go take a break, go get a little bit of water, something to eat, and come back to it later. Take your time. You want to ease into it. You're not just going to jump right into 4 hours of playing VR. You're not going to feel good after you do that. On that note too, you should probably start with stationary games. I like to start with Beat Saber. Anyone that's newer to VR, if I'm letting them try out my headset, I usually put them into Beat Saber first because you're stationary while playing this game. Things are flying by you at really fast paces, but you're stationary, you're not moving. From there, you will try to break out into some other games where you are starting to move around. There's also games where you're teleporting. Those tend to be the ones where you really lose. Your body doesn't know exactly what's going on and how you ended up from here and there. Therefore, you develop motion sickness. Start with stationary type games and ease your way into more advanced games with more movement going on. Okay, tip number 2 is huge. You actually want to get a fan. Personally, I like to get a box fan that I have and I place it off to the side. You might see some other videos that actually suggest these fans that go around your shoulders and blow up at you. They work, however, I find when you have a fan off on the side at a certain direction, it helps your body know where you are in the room. Knowing that that fan is to my left or right, that your body will know where it's at. That's also why I wouldn't prefer a ceiling fan. It's always above me no matter which direction I'm looking. But if I have a box fan off to the side or on an angle, then my body is aware of where I am and positioned in that room, and that helps a little bit more with that motion sickness. Tip number 3, you guys want to get a mat. You want to place a mat in the middle of the room where you're going to be playing VR. Not really an exact measurement you need, but a smaller mat than a typical bathroom mat. I just take my bathroom mat and I fold it in half and place it underneath. They also sell VR mats specifically for this. I will leave a link in the description below for those types of mats, along with anything else I talk about in this video. I would also suggest playing barefoot or in your socks. This way you can feel where that mat is much easier than with shoes on. And this way, if you step off that mat and you know you're no longer center in the room, that you can step right back on. Sometimes with the shoes, it's hard to tell if you're on or off the mat. Tip number 4. We have ginger chews and peppermints. Ginger chews are known to naturally just give your body less nausea and less motion sickness. A lot of people, I'm actually a big fisherman, hence the name Real Tyler Ken actually. And oftentimes if you take a lot of ginger, even ginger ale sometimes, that actually helps you out a lot with motion sickness and not feeling so nauseous. So ginger chews and also peppermints, those are also known to help. I haven't personally used peppermints myself, but apparently if you use them, they help out too. But I would definitely suggest some ginger chews to help you out. The last and final tip, tip number 5, is please, if you are somewhat of a gamer and you're going to plan to use your VR headset for more than 45 minutes and you plan to use what you bought and spend all this money on, please buy a new head strap. This is mostly for those Quest 2 users. A lot of those new head straps that came out that are built in, like the PSVR 2, those head straps look great. All you Quest 2 users out there, I'm talking to you. If you plan to use this and you plan to be an actual VR gamer, please, for the love of all things, get a new head strap and also get a third-party strap. Apparently the one from MetaQuest tends to break a lot. I did a ton of research on this myself, and I actually even did a nice video that compared a bunch of different head straps and the benefits of each one. I'm gonna leave a link to that video at the end of this video. Definitely check it out, but please, get a new head strap if you plan to use your VR headset for any more than 30, 45 minutes, because The head strap it comes with for the Quest 2 is so constricting and tight on your head that after a while you're not gonna want to play anymore. Not just for nausea and motion sickness, but also for comfort. You want to pick up this head strap, okay? Do it. I hope these 5 tips really helped you guys out. If you guys are just starting to get into VR, please be sure to ease yourself into it. Start with those stationary games, take breaks after a while. Once you start feeling just a little bit of nausea or motion sickness, stop, take a second, walk away, get something to eat, come right back into it. It's totally normal, and this happens to most people. It's something new, your body's not used to it. If you overdo it, you over push it, you're not going to want to go back and play that game. You're going to have a bad stigma to it. And then after a while, you're not even going to have to use these tips and tricks. I still use my fan. I don't use the mat anymore. I don't use my ginger chews anymore. So please, please, please ease yourself into this thing. It's totally worth it. If you guys found this info helpful, please be sure to hit that like button down below. And for more Oculus gaming tips and tricks, or should I say MetaQuest gaming tips and tricks, subscribe to the channel. I also go live many times a week. Check out my YouTube banner on my page. That'll show you my schedule throughout the week. Until next time, guys, peace.